Goalball is a sport that was played exclusively by athletes who are vision impaired. It was created in 1946 to help rehabilitate veterans who have lost their sight during Second World War. It was made its world debut in 1976 at the Paralympic Games in Toronto, Canada. In Goalball, there are 2 teams of 3 players with maximum of 3 substitutes for each team. The objective of the game is to roll a basketball-sized ball with the bells inside into the opponent's goal line and score points. The ball is thrown by hand, not kicked, so it requires coordination between the ear and the hand. The opposing players will listen to the sound of the bell to judge the position and movement of the ball. The players are divided into 3 positions: right wings, left wings, and center. The center is the primary defensive player, while the wings are usually the primary offensive or the one that throw the ball. In a defensive mode, the center will usually stop the ball and pass it to the wing. Once they block the ball and take control of it, they become the offensive team. A goalball court is 18 meters long and 9 meters wide. It has goals on each end, covering the entire 9-meter backline. String is taped to the markings on the court to allow players to feel the lines and orientate themselves. The ball is made of hard rubber and has holes in it that allows bells inside the ball to be heard as the ball moves. One thing to remember is that complete silence is required inside the venue so that the players can immediately react to the ball. During the game, blackout masks and adhesive patches are applied to the players' eyes to make sure that the players cannot see, as the severity of para-athletes' impairment may differ. Eye shades allow everyone with varying degrees of vision to participate on the court at the same time on equal ground. Played indoors, each game involves 2 halves of 12 minutes each, separated by the 3 minutes break. The game is won by the team that scores most points, and it usually takes about an hour to play a full game. If there is a tie, golden goal overtime will happen in the form of 2 times 3-minute periods and a second 3-minute half time. If the tie continues, a paired shootout or extra throws and sudden death extra throws will determine the winner. Goalball is played competitively in more than 100 countries, making it one of the most popular Paralympic sports around the world. In the 11th Asean Para Games 2022, there are 7 countries that are participate in male division and 5 countries in female division. They are competing for 1 gold medal on each division. As for the competition system, a single round-robin system will be used. The first place finisher will play the 4th place finisher in the first semi-final. The second place finisher will play the 3rd place finisher in the second semi-final. The winner of the two in semi-final will play for the championship. The losers of the two in semi-final will play for the third and fourth place respectively. Among the top seeded in Goalball are Malaysia, Thailand, and Laos PDR. Goalball will be held from 31st July to 5th August 2022 at UNS Sports Center, Solo. The wheelchair basketball was developed in 1945 as a part of the rehabilitation program for disabled veterans during World War II. It helped the veterans become more physically active and improve their skills in coordination and communication. Wheelchair basketball still have most major rules and scoring of basketball. The exceptions are rules which have been modified with consideration for the wheelchair. It also still maintains a 10-foot basketball hoop and standard basketball court. Men's wheelchair basketball has featured at every Paralympic Games since 1960, and women's competition was introduced in 1968. Today, the sport is practiced in nearly 100 countries. Wheelchair basketball is a fast-paced game played by two teams of 5 players and 7 substitutes. The objective of the game is to shoot the ball into the opposing team's basket. The scoring system is the same with basketball. A goal from a free throw counts 1 point. A goal from the 2-point field goal area counts 2 points. A goal from the 3-point field goal area counts 3 points. There are 4 periods of 10 minutes in every game. If the score is tied at the end of the 4th period, an overtime period of 5 minutes is played. If the score remains tied at the end of this period, additional overtime periods will be played until a winner is determined. Dribbling is still part of the game. A player may wheel the chair and bounce the ball simultaneously. However, if the ball is picked up and or placed on the player's lap, players must dribble, shoot, or pass the ball at least once every 2 pushes of the wheelchair. A traveling violation occurs if the player takes more than 2 pushes while in possession of the ball without dribbling. Also, if a player lifting his or her legs to gain an advantage or lifting out of the chair, it will be given a technical foul too. The player must remain firmly seated in the chair and must not use his or her lower limbs to steer the chair or gain an unfair advantage. The wheelchair is basically treated as an extension of the player's body, so if part of the chair touches a line, then the player is touching the line. Falls also can occur when a player or their wheelchair comes into contact with their opponent. And in the event of a player falls out of the chair, a referee may stop the game if the player is at risk of being injured. Otherwise, the game will continue. Players use small and lightweight wheelchairs and usually comes with one or two smaller wheels at the front. The function of this feature is to provide balance and stability. The player also strapped into the chair to allow them to be agile while in the chair. Wheelchair basketball is played by people with different level of physical disabilities that prevents running, jumping, and pivoting. The players are classified by a point system from 1 to 4.5 points to determine their functional ability. Each team can a maximal total point value of 14 on the court, playing at any given time. On the 11th Asean Para Games 2022, wheelchair basketball will be held from 30th July to 5th August 2022 at the Sritex Arena, Solo City. There are 4 gold medals to be distributed this year for 5-on-5 team tournament men, 5-on-5 team tournament women, 3-on-3 team tournament men, 3-on-3 team tournament women. The top seeded team for wheelchair basketball are Thailand, Malaysia, and the Philippines.
I think by age, in terms of swimming lesson, Colin started swimming lessons. He started swimming lessons when he was about 3. I started swimming lessons when I was 8 years old. Yeah. I feel when I'm swimming there is a sense of freedom because on land I can't see myself and I have to use a white cane or a guide dog to get around. So because of that, people will see me and they already can tell that I'm visually impaired and they'll put a label on me. But when we're swimming, I feel that everybody is equal because you can't tell who is disabled or not. Like everyone looks the same in the pool. So I feel there is a sense of equality and freedom in that sense when we're swimming.
For me, I feel like actually I feel most natural in the water. So like you can ask like my family. I'm extremely at home with water so much so that my mom made me take swimming lessons. So I feel the most comfortable in the water, so yeah, that's why I took swimming.
As in swimming, one of my, of course I want to make another Paralympic Games. I think I did pretty well and I'm very grateful that I managed to make it to the Tokyo Paralympics. But to make it to another one and achieve even higher goals than what I managed to achieve in Tokyo would be another big goal of mine.
Obviously, my goal is to follow my sister's footsteps and go to the Paralympics also. So yeah, and I hope to be able to do this for quite some time, at least 2 or 3 rounds.
I think Colin is a lot more decorated in terms of medals and achievement and success. I managed to get my first major games medal about a month ago at the Swimming World Championships in Madeira. I managed to get a silver medal in the 100-meter breaststroke, and that's something that I really cherish with me, and I'm very grateful and thankful for all my coaches for working so hard with me. I think we're just grateful for the timing. The medal was a very, very beautiful cherry on top.
So previously in 2000 2017, the Asian Para Games in Dubai. I got 2 bronze medals in, if I remember correctly, it was 100-meter breaststroke and 100-meter backstroke. And recently, 2021, Asian Para Games again in Bahrain. This time, I got 4 gold medals.
For this particular Asean Para Games, I think we just want to do our best because this is the first time I'm having competition at Asean Para Games, because usually in the Southeast Asian region, I don't have competitors. So I'm very glad that the para scene is growing in this region to allow me to have competition here, and not just myself but also the other girls that I'll be competing with. And I really have no idea what to expect from them. So I think as long as we do our best and we follow according to our race plan and race strategy and looking at the big picture for 2024, I think that's the most important thing for this race.
Also same for me. This is actually like really my first time coming to Asean Para Games. So I really have no idea what is it going to be like. So when I discussed with my coach, we just agreed that I think doing my best is the best we can do to the space.
Perasaan saya bangga sih Mas, bangga, bahagia, tetapi ya pastinya dengan tanggung jawab dan konsekuensi yang saya harus betul-betul fokus dan serius. Karena secara waktu juga sangat pendek, secara persiapan juga sangat pendek, tetapi yang membuat saya bangga adalah ini teman-teman dari Solo semua, seniman-seniman Solo semua, para pekerja seni yang memang betul-betul sudah ahli di bidangnya mereka masing-masing, baik wayang maupun topeng maupun musik maupun tari, bahkan juga gamelan. Ini yang membuat saya merasa bangga dan tersanjung bisa menjadi salah satu bagian dari opening dan closing Asean Para Games di Solo 2022 ini. Kalau penari peserta ya kira-kira penari saja ada sekitar 380-an. Belum ditambah dengan teman-teman difabel dan juga sekitar ada 70-an. Ini dari semua kumpulan teman-teman sekolah maupun komunitas difabel yang ada di Surakarta, Karanganyar, Solo, ada di Karisri dan Surakarta. Belum termasuk pemain musik dan gamelan, belum termasuk pemain-pemain wayang dan sandosa, belum termasuk para make up dan kostum, termasuk make upnya juga teman-teman dari Solo, kostumnya juga teman-teman dari Solo, yang semuanya hampir sekitar 600-700 orang lah yang terlibat. Kalau bicara masalah konsepnya sesuai dengan maskotnya sih, kita mengangkat tema Raja Mala, Rojo Molo kalau di Solo. Jadi Raja Mala adalah tokoh yang memang sangat antagonis, sangat spesial, tetapi kita mencoba mengadaptasi cerita itu atau tokoh ini bukan sebagai rajanya memala gitu atau Rajoning Molo, tapi justru sebagai penyemangat bahwa kita telah mengalami masa pandemi, yang pandemi ini adalah sebuah contoh memolo atau mala yang besar di abad ini, tetapi pada saat yang sama kita melihat potensi Raja Mala juga sebagai tumbal dan juga sebagai penyedia atau kalau diistilahkan itu sebagai seorang tokoh yang bersedia menjadi tumbal untuk mensejahterakan rakyat yang ada di negara ini gitu, kira-kira begitu di secara garis secara konsepnya gitu. Terus konsep pemanggungan juga kita bedain karena selama ini kita pemanggungan selalu ada di area hijau, di area tengah. Kita sekarang memakai konsep ruang pertunjukan dari wayang kulit, dan termasuk bagaimana kita berkolaborasi, beradaptasi dan juga berinovasi secara bareng-bareng dengan teman-teman difabel, supaya kita bisa mengangkat tema striving for equality. Kalau untuk pembukaan kita memang spesifik mengangkat tema-tema Solo, mengangkat tema-tema Jawa Tengah, mengangkat tema-tema Jawa ya khususnya, karena memang potensi Surakarta kita sudah tahu rumahnya gamelan berasal dari Solo. Gamelan di seluruh dunia juga dari Solo. Wayang apalagi, tari apalagi. Terus kita punya 2 keraton Kasunanan dan juga Puro Mangkunegaran yang memang sangat hadir untuk potensi seni dan budayanya. Teman-teman Sriwedari dan RRI yang juga mengusung kegairahan mengangkat dan membaca tradisi itu bisa ditengarai menjadi sebagai penyemangat lokalitas dan tradisi. Nah, ini yang membuat saya meyakini bahwa ya kita harus menunjukkan potensi dan kekuatan apa yang kita punya di Kota Surakarta atau di Kota Solo ini.
The opening ceremony of 11th Asean Para Games 2022 took place on Saturday, 30th of July 2022 at Manahan Stadion in Solo, Central Java, Indonesia. Javanese culture in many forms dominated the ceremony. The story of Asean Para Games mascot Raja Mala was beautifully told through dances and stage design. One of the performers in opening ceremony is Nela Karisma. The famous dangdut singer from East Java sang the full Indonesian theme song called Menembus Batas.
Tentunya bangga dan senang sekali Nela bisa dipercaya untuk menyanyikan theme song Asean Para Games ini. Dan Nela bangga sekali bisa ikuti dalam bagian Asean Para Games ini. Perbedaannya kalau biasanya manggung di Solo kan yang nonton kan sama-sama orang Jawa, Indonesia dan sebagainya gitu ya. Kalau ini kan Asean Para Games ya yang nonton dari berbagai negara di ASEAN. Jadinya ada sedikit rasa deg-degan sih, agak nervous juga. Kesulitannya sih mungkin ngepasin sama karakter ya. Karena biasanya saya kan dangdut, kalau ini kan theme songnya agak kepop-popan gitu. Tapi akhirnya di mixing ada dangdutnya sedikit. Oke deh, so far okay.
The 11th Asean Para Games 2022 opening ceremony was started with a pre-show for 60 minutes, while the main show lasted around 90 minutes. Around 1,600 athletes will compete in 14 sports until 6 of August 2022. The 14 sports are blind judo, para badminton, para table tennis, para chess, para archery, para athletics, boccia, para powerlifting, para swimming, wheelchair tennis, wheelchair basketball, goalball, CB football, and sitting volleyball. Indonesia has sent 324 athletes to Asian Para Games along with a target of 104 gold medals in 14 sports.